Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey.
Hello.
And the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 Cents.
What up, Dal?
The Lord of Puppies, Some Dumb American.
Hi, guys.
The Lord of Penis, Weebo Jones.
I thought it was Dick Grayson.
Oh, that's right. I haven't done it in so long. I just forgot about it. Sorry.
I'm sorry that I'm always busy, Scribbles.
Yeah. Well, no, you were here last time. It's fine. And I am your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone has had a good week and a good Friday thus far. Not the religious kind, but just the regular kind. And we welcome my sort of second crossing of the streams in as many weeks with the professional stream, a.k.a. Two Girls, One Stream, Some Dumb American and Weebo Jones. So, yay!
Yep.
It's a different crossing of the streams, though.
Yes, you guys have to sit down.
Or squat.
Yeah, depending. So, SDA, I hear you have an announcement.
I do. I have an audiobook.
Yay!
It's
Congrats.
been over a year, but there's an audiobook now. And the best part is that, you can get it for free. And if you get it for free, you don't pay anything. And I still get paid, and you get a super awesome audiobook. And it sounds amazing. The story's great. It's super great. And the other super awesome thing is that the second book is currently in production. So you don't even have to wait that long for the second book. And what more could you want out of life?
I'd like a puppy. A second puppy.
Moonbase.
What? Seriously?
I've always wanted a pony, too, but they're really expensive.
This is not helpful.
Well, in either case, guys, the link to the audiobook on Audible is in the description below. So if you are curious or want to go over there real quick and sign up and get a copy for free, by all means. SDA will only be here for a little while tonight because she has a trip to make, but I figured we'd make the most of it and have some fun as a group. Let's see. So anyway, that aside, Satsu, how are you?
Pretty good. I've been fairly busy today. I did a lot of stuff. We'll get to that later.
Okay. Monkey, how are you?
Oh, not worth talking about. How you doing, Scribe?
Well, I'm going to get to our guests first, and then I'll talk about myself. I'm polite like that, unlike apparently everybody else. Weebo, how are you?
I'm tired, Scribbles.
Wait, time out.
Yes.
I'm impolite for asking how you are.
Yeah, that's right.
No,
you're impolite for interrupting me.
For not giving deference to our guests slightly. Yes.
Ain't that a bitch?
No.
Weebo, how are you?
No, SDA. SDA is the bitch.
Peachy. Monkey, thank you for asking.
I'm a giver.
Just so everyone knows, no, I'm not in prison, and I'm also not in the bathroom. I had to move back into a dorm room for a few weeks for work.
Oh, all my Weebo in prison fantasies are ruined.
I'm sorry? Hang on.
Nothing. SDA, how are you?
I'm good. Obviously, I had a really good day. I was super excited. Addie and I just sat here screeching for about 3 hours once we got the email that the audiobook was live. So, yeah. If you follow me on Snapchat, you know about that. I was just having a stroke.
I bet you were. Don't say that around Sinatra. It brings back flashbacks.
Sorry.
And to answer Monkey's question, I'm fine. I had a very quiet day at work. Nothing crazy happened. I had an interesting fight on the phone with a customer service representative about some financial stuff, which was ridiculous. I won't get into it, but it's kind of like I call up, they ask me for information to verify who I am. I verify who I am, and then I say, hey, I need to get my account password reset because apparently you guys have locked my account. And they're like, oh, I just need your account number. I'm like, the account number's locked inside the account. Oh, well, then I can't unlock your account. Like, well, why the fuck did I just spend all this time waiting on the phone to identify myself to you if you're not going to reset my password? Can't you send me a password reset email? Oh, we can't do emails like that. What the fuck century are we living in? Anyway, so I got to figure some other things out. But three-sided coin, thank you. Can I get the same deal for my birthday tonight? The same deal?
The
What
same
deal?
deal.
What same? You want to get lousy customer service? Okay, fuck you. What? I don't understand. What's he talking about?
He wants the usual, the huge.
The usual. Oh, a song?
A song and some snarky commentary in the middle, interrupted by SDA, because that's how.
Oh, does that mean you're going to sing, Satsu?
Fuck no.
Oh, okay. I thought
Scribbles.
SDA is not our diversity hire to handle the interspersed comments.
Why does SDA
She's
get
white
to
enough,
do
but
the diversity hire? I'm right here.
I don't know. Well, you're a female midget with a gigantic dick. So I guess you are the diversity hire. Monkey, would you like to lead us off?
Yeah, but I have to fill you in on some details. It's not actually Three-Sided Coin's birthday.
Oh,
Three-Sided. I was. Hang on, let me explain.
Okay.
He's headed to Paris, so he's not going to be around to listen to us. So, can you give us a little French accent there, Scribbles?
Oh,
okay. I surrender.
There we go. Three-Sided Coin. Well, once again, this one is for you, and a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
oh god.
Ew.
Happy
birthday
to you.
Disgusting.
Ew.
Happy birthday, dear.
Three-sided coin in French, if I could say it in French.
This is the weirdest thing ever.
Happy birthday to you.
I agree to never do that again.
Three-Sided Coin, I hope you have a safe trip and a wonderful birthday. And SDA, you've been part of far weirder things that I've done.
You know what? I don't think I have.
I feel like you have.
We still talk about the cereal soup thing.
All right, now we're going to move on.
I was just
Let's get on to the news.
emotionally.
No. We're going to get on to the news. I don't want to talk about that. Done.
Not Scribe. Why not?
So,
Real
guess
quick,
what?
hang on.
No.
Three-Sided Coin said, thank you so much. I love you guys. Off to bed. Have a great night.
Yeah, have a good night and have a safe trip, Three-Sided.
Hey, Nate.
Okay. Breaking news. Trump has called off the tariffs with Mexico. They reached a deal.
Oh,
Well, there you go.
Oh my God. It's almost like using our might works.
I know. So, well, at least against somebody who's in a weaker position economically than we are.
Don't worry about the ethics of it. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
That's basically the news of that. It was breaking just before the stream started. So yeah, we've dodged the tariffs, or I should say the tariffs on Mexican imports are quote unquote indefinitely suspended. Trump has tweeted. So a deal was reached. I'm not going to go into the whole rigmarole of it because I've got plenty of other stories to deal with, but that's the breaking news. But the top story, I suppose, well, I got a couple of top stories. One is the attack on the 2 lesbian ladies in London. You see this?
No.
Okay, so it's a very graphic picture. There's two women sitting on a bus in London, and they are just covered in blood. Here's the headline: Lesbian couple viciously beaten in homophobic attack on London bus.
Ooh.
14. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just about to say happy Pride, everybody.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
4 teenagers have been arrested in connection with a homophobic attack on 2 women on a London bus that prompted widespread condemnation in the UK. The attack took place on a night bus on May 30th as the couple, Melania Gaimonet, if I'm saying that correctly, and her partner Chris were traveling home from an evening out together. Gaimonet posted a photograph on Facebook of the aftermath of the attack, showing the pair sitting on the bus covered in blood. In the accompanying account of the attack in English and Spanish, Gamenei said that at least 4 men began harassing the couple when they saw them kissing. The group made lewd comments, demanded that they kiss, and eventually assaulted and robbed them. Quote, they started behaving like hooligans, demanding that we kissed so that they could enjoy watching, calling us lesbians, and describing sexual positions, she wrote. Gamenei said she started making jokes in an attempt to defuse the situation, but the men, quote, kept on harassing us, throwing us coins, and becoming more enthusiastic about it. The next thing I know is that Chris is in the middle of the bus fighting with them. On an impulse, I went over there only to find her face bleeding and 3 of them beating her up. The next thing I know is I'm being punched. She said to CNN on Friday night, quote, this is not the first time in my life I have felt violated, even though this is the first time my nose has been broken, unquote. The Metropolitan Police said 4 males aged between 15 and 18 had been arrested on suspicion of robbery and causing grievous bodily harm. Detective Superintendent Andy Cox said inquiries were continuing into the disgusting assault. Quote, lots of people will understandably be outraged by this attack. Our efforts to trace all the suspects involved and bring them in for questioning will be relentless. London's Mayor Sadiq Khan condemned the incident, saying it was a, quote, disgusting, misogynistic attack. Hate crimes against the LGBT plus community will not be tolerated in London. So yeah, that happened. Thank you, Professor Chaos, for the donation. Thank you, Dark Shade. Fleeking White Suit Tax. And thank you, Griffin, for the donations, plural. There was another one up there. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, that was going around the Twitter all day. And you know, I will be completely honest. As soon as I saw that and I heard the little blurb about what it was about, I cannot deny I was at first skeptical because we've had so many times where we've been faked out by things. So I didn't say anything because I wasn't sure. I was waiting for more information. But my first thought was, is this a thing that actually happened? And then I saw the picture and I was like, yeah, that seems a bit extreme. And then they arrested some guys. I'm like, okay.
So what kind of Asians were they, do you think?
Well, the bit that I read earlier is that she described them as having Spanish accents or something, but I don't know. I don't know. They haven't identified them for sure yet. And that might just be, I don't know. So far as I know, an actual physical description of them has not been released. So, but yeah, it'll be. I don't know. I just hope that those guys get arrested and prosecuted for that. That's bullshit. In other bad news, good news in the sense that it didn't happen. Times Square terror plot. Inspired by bin Laden, man planned bombing in Times Square, officials say. The authorities arrested Ashikul Alam, if I'm saying that correctly, who tried to buy illegal guns and talk to undercover agents about his desire to carry out attacks. Around the anniversary of the September 11 attacks last year, Ashikul Alam voiced his admiration for their mastermind, Osama bin Laden, and said he wanted to carry on bin Laden's legacy of violent extremism. Quote, he did what he is supposed to do, Mr. Alam, 22, said, according to a criminal complaint. Now it's up to us, unquote. That sentiment, expressed to an undercover law enforcement agent, kicked off a series of conversations about a potential terrorist attack in New York City that ultimately led to Mr. Alam's arrest on Thursday. Mr. Alam, a green card holder from Bangladesh who lives in Queens, was taken into custody after trying to buy 2 Glock pistols with defaced serial numbers from an undercover officer. His arrest was the culmination of months of work involving 3 undercover agents and several law enforcement agencies for a nutty 22-year-old kid. I mean, not saying that he wasn't necessarily a threat, but still, that's a lot of manpower for something that you guys essentially egged on with your undercover agents. I don't know. There's been several of those stories in the past several years where it's sort of like a guy was arrested after trying to conspire with an undercover agent to do something crazy.
Yeah. Well, fucking round them up, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see. How about some other breaking news? Since you guys are so quiet.
Did you want me to have an opinion now?
Wait a second.
Oh.
He yells at me for having an opinion all the time. It's okay.
What? I don't need to have an opinion all the time. That's okay?
What?
It's okay.
Oh.
Are you sure?
Hey, I just didn't want to hear about the cereal is soup stuff. That's all.
Yeah. Like you had such a reaction. I got scared. I kind of shriveled up. It was a bad time.
Your toxic masculinity.
It was an
I felt it
adverse
over here, dude.
reaction.
Lion
He
Patriot,
spoke
thank
over
you. Lion Patriot, thank you. Scribe, did you say the thing? If you did, I forgot. Did I do the opening, Monkey Dick and all that?
No.
Oh my God.
No, I
How
don't
dare
think.
you?
I got confuzzled with all the cereal is soup bullshit.
Why do you gotta be so aggressive?
I don't know. For some reason, I just I start having flashbacks. Okay, well, that's my bad, guys. I apologize. I'll back up slightly. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you have not already, and please, please, please share our stuff. If the events of the last several days have proven nothing else, it's that YouTube doesn't really care about its creators at the end of the day. We can follow all the rules and still risk getting fucked over. So you guys help
Especially
out.
the LGBT ones.
Apparently so. Is somebody eating something in their microphone?
No.
Yeah. Thank you, Dark Shade. Why is Trucker Weebo in jail?
I moved back into a university for work. That's it. It's just the wall that's behind me. It does look like a jail though, because I'm in the basement. And so you can see all of the piping and stuff.
All right.
It looks bad.
Let's see. How about some Schadenfreude news?
I don't know what Schadenfreude means.
Well, have you ever taken pleasure in someone poning themselves?
Yes.
That is Schadenfreude.
Oh, excellent. Let's go.
I have translated it into the kids speak. Tech reporter and avowed male feminist charged with soliciting child sex online.
Oh.
Wow.
Tech reporter Peter Bright has been arrested for soliciting sex with children online. He was employed by Ars Technica until recently. A federal complaint alleges that Bright sought to molest a 7 and 9-year-old and met with an undercover agent for this purpose, at which point he was arrested. It also states that Bright claimed to be in a sexual relationship with an 11-year-old. He is currently being held without bail. According to the complaint filed in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York, an undercover FBI special agent made contact with Bright on Kink D, a social media fetish platform, on April 18th. Never heard of it. Bright, using the handle Randomanon, had responded to a message the agent posted a day prior in which she purported to be a mother seeking to connect with people who could teach her children about birds and the bees. Oh, I understand it was just, bait, but still, there's the The complaint states that in subsequent messages, the agent informed Bright that she had a 7-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son. At Bright's urging, the two then began chatting via WhatsApp, which continued for a few weeks. At times using euphemisms, Bright reportedly wrote of molesting both children and raping the 7-year-old. Okay, I'm just for the sake of my own stomach, I'm going to stop there because this story, it's factually accurate, but it is explicit. So just for the sake of not grossing myself out, this guy's arrested in jail presently. So. And the law enforcement is looking to investigate whether or not Bright actually is involved with an 11-year-old, and if so, they can try to hopefully get her into someplace safe or something. So
'twas a male feminist, you say?
Yes, he is. He's been a vocal male feminist in other spheres of things. So
Interesting.
yeah. So yeah. Thank you, Adabisi. Is the midget with the big dong rolling a joint? Show your hands.
I'm not. I don't do drugs. I'm a good Weebo.
You don't do drugs. You drink, though, don't you? That's a drug.
That doesn't count. It's like caffeine. It doesn't count.
Hey, I've got to hop in and drive, so
Okay.
I'm going to hop off so that I can make it home so that I'm not super late for our stream later.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, if you get home with time left over in this stream, feel free to hop back in.
I certainly will. Thank you for having me on.
Sure.
Bye, sweetie.
Bye, SDA.
I'll see you later.
Bye, Weebo. I love you.
I love you too.
Jesus. I love you. Oh, I love you so much.
Why are you
Yeah,
mocking
Pride
our
Month.
love? Why are
What?
you being so bigoted this Pride Month, Scribbles?
I don't know. It's the hate and darkness in my heart. Ever since I was a small child being picked on by bigger kids, I just have a side of me that just won't let it go.
I never let that get to me.
Who cares?
Thank you, Satsu, for your empathy and humanity.
My empathy died a long time ago, sir.
I'm not talking to you, Satsu.
Speaking of empathy dying,
Oh.
you remember that police officer who was in the passenger seat and turned at night responding to a call of a potential rape in an alley and pulled out his gun, shot past his partner who was in the driver's seat and killed the woman who called in the call?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yes.
Well, he finally got
Oh,
he
dumbass.
finally got sentenced today. Mohammed Noor, former Minneapolis police officer, sentenced to 12 and a half years in fatal shooting of woman. Not enough, in my opinion, but what are you going to do? Former Minneapolis police officer Mohammed Noor was sentenced Friday by a Minnesota judge to 12 and a half years in prison for the fatal shooting of a woman while responding to her 911 call. Noor, a 33-year-old Somali American, was convicted April 20th on charges of third-degree murder and manslaughter in the death of Justine Ruzick, who had relocated from her native Australia to Minneapolis to live with her fiancé. During the sentencing hearing, Ruzick's fiancé, Don Demond, read a letter in which he described weeping in a dress shop when he saw her wedding dress a week after her death. Quote, "I had an experience of what that magical wedding night in Hawaii might have been like," he said. "I fantasized about seeing you walk on the beach in that dress towards me to exchange our vows. I fantasized kissing you as they designated us man and wife. But these are not memories, but sad wishes of what will never be." Okay, now I'm even more depressed.
Wow.
Noor spoke in court to apologize to the family of Ruzick's, saying he will think of her every day. Oh, I'm sure that's comforting to them. Quote, "I've thought and prayed about this for 2 years, since the time I took the life of Justine Ruzick," Noor said. "I've also been thinking about all the other lives that have been changed and continue to be changed after this event. None of the families will ever be the same again. Taking a life so tragically goes against all of that. I've lived with this and will continue to live with this. It is my burden. I wish I could relieve that burden others feel of the loss I've caused. I will think of Miss Ruzick and her family forever." Makes me so angry, so stupid.
Huh.
I still, I don't have any details from the case or the testimony or anything, but I am just baffled as to what possible logic, not that anything would ever excuse or explain it, but what possible logic he says was going through his head when he did that. I don't get it.
It
You
just
got
doesn't
me.
make all the facts just make it crazy. It's like you got a call from a woman. You know, she showed up to the car. She had both of her hands on the window from what they said or whatever. Like, there's just so much information in that where it's just like, dude, you reached over your own partner to just Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. Let's see. What is this? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
We have a birthday.
Uh-oh, whose is it this time?
Yar of Clan Coon. I've never
Yard
seen.
Coon.
Huh?
Oh,
He
it's
used to go
Yard
by the
Coon's
name
birthday?
Yard Coon.
Oh my God.
Oh, he said, "Well, let me make the mood a little happier at Satsu's pain. It's my birthday." Smiley face.
Is indeed. Yar, on this program, we're just going to call you Yar for the evening. Because, you know, some people at YouTube get a little touchy.
Yeah.
It's your birthday, and it's time for us to do this. And a 1, and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
No.
Happy birthday Happy birthday, dear.
Oh, hi, Satan.
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you. Happy birthday, Yar. I hope you had a great one, bud. I really do.
And lastly, such as it is, we have to talk about Trump, the moon, and Mars.
Are we getting Moonbase?
Well, eventually. But now, I want to predicate this by saying I understand what he meant to say. That does not remove the hilarity of how he said it.
What did he say?
Here's the tweet. For all of the money we are spending, NASA should not be talking about going to the moon. We did that 50 years ago. They should be focused on the much bigger things we are doing, including Mars, of which the moon is a part, defense, and science. And I said, the moon is a part of Mars? Now, Trump did mean that the moon, or getting to the moon, or being able to colonize the moon, is part of the process of getting to Mars in order to have like a supply spot and other things. That's what he meant. That is not what he said. That is not how it was constructed in the sentence. So a lot of fun was made of him and how he did that. So anyway, that's where the my response to that tweet was: the moon is a part of Mars. Hashtag Maroonbase.
Nah, it doesn't have the same ring to it.
Maroonbase? Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, now when you say it like that.
Well, like a maroon cartoon for those of you who are Who Framed Roger Rabbit fans. Anyway, but that tweet aside, Trump flips on space goals. NASA should not be talking about going to the moon and focus on Mars. President Donald Trump on Friday upended his long-stated goal of returning American astronauts to the moon by the end of a potential second term, instead saying his federal space agency should focus instead on the further reaches of space. And then he quotes the tweet. Let's see. There were several unclear aspects of the message, not least of which was Trump's description of Mars, of which the moon is a part. Okay. Who wrote this? Okay, two authors for this thing, Kevin Liptak and Caroline Kelly. Even I could decipher what he meant.
Can I interject just for a hot second?
Mm-hmm.
So, it should be noted, Mars does have its own moons, but they are not the moon, which is what
yes
is important. Like the distinction is, yes, there are some moons, not the moon, as in our moon, which is the moon.
Yeah. I know our moon has like an official name, like Luna or something, but all the same, there's the moon and then there's the moons of Mars. Let's see. Yeah, so mixed messages. We had this big, reveal a month or so ago where they had this 8-year plan, 37 missions into space and to the moon, etc. from NASA. And now Trump is saying, no, forget the moon. Go to Mars. We've been to the moon. Like, no. Trump, we go back to the moon. We got to do that first. We have to use the moon as a testing ground for those things that will take us to Mars because it's our closest celestial body that we can sort of prepare and plan and have a staging ground, etc. This is why he's not a scientist. But anyway, I hope somebody talks some sense into him, although God knows if they can.
Well, by saying getting to the moon is part of it, isn't he saying that he doesn't think that our goal should be the moon, that our goal should be shooting further?
Well,
because his original statement was we should go back to the moon. And now what he's saying is that going back to the moon should be part of the bigger project.
Well, it always has been part of the bigger project.
Not within the context of him saying we should go back to the moon.
Well, not in the context of this new initiative, but it was always part of the larger scheme of things that we'd have to go to the moon first and establish something there before using that to go to Mars. Now that it's got funded, so maybe.
I'm talking about his statement because they're saying that he's going back on it, and you're saying he doesn't know science. Obviously does, because he mentioned going to the moon as part of it. Just seems like a cheap shot. That's all.
Well, it seems like he's saying that they're going to reduce the budget for the moon stuff they've already announced in order to then fund to go to Mars. And just like, okay, you gotta focus on one thing. You can't split your attention. You got to get one thing done and then move on to the other. And that's not all going to get done in your administration, even if you do get reelected. So how about just let us get to the moon first, and that'll be the impetus to go on to other things. That's all I'm saying.
I can't find a scientific name for the moon. I mean, there's the Latin name Luna, yeah, sure, but that's like just the Latin word for moon. So like,
yeah, exactly. I mean, in various video games and things, it's been just called Luna or something, but I don't know if we had an official name for it.
this is gonna irritate me. We need to name the moon.
Crater Valley. That's
No.
the name of the moon. That's the name of the moon colony that I have planned out. Thank you, Chicago Mike. So Trump wasn't talking about Phobos and Deimos. No. We're not going to open up a gate to hell. We're going to Mars, and then we'll open up the gates to hell. That's, these things come in stages, guys. Just like
I feel like they've been open already.
Yeah, could be. But with that, we're at the bottom of the hour, and so it's MSS News time. So chat, if you have news stories you'd like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but that's only because cereal is not soup.
I like Giant Spicy Rock Boy for the name of the moon.
Giant spicy rock boy.
Tweet that to Trump. Maybe he can do an executive order to name the moon.
All right.
We got there first, so it's kind of ours. Although I know that's not actually the case.
Petition to rename the moon.
Yeah, there you go.
Spicy Rock Boy.
Let's see. This one comes from Quinn Harrison. Okay, I know I've seen this site before. Mental Floss. Is that a real thing or is that a satire site?
Real as far as I know, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, anyway, the headline is All the Rage. Rage Yoga finds Zen in swearing, booze, and heavy metal music. Rage Yoga. Okay. Yoga is normally associated with burning incense, calming music, and maybe the occasional goat. What? Okay. That's not the case with a new type of yoga class being taught in Canada and Texas. Well, that's a spectrum. At Rage Yoga, participants drink beer, drop F-bombs, and listen to heavy metal music on their path to inner peace. Okay, Lindsay Itase, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, conceived Rage Yoga after feeling out of place at more conventional yoga sessions. Instead of maintaining a calm, quiet atmosphere, Rage Yoga encourages self-expression, even if it involves cursing your way through a warrior pose or banging your head to Metallica as you downward dog. Quote, before I found my practice, I was a stress case all the time, Istase writes on the official Rage Yoga website.
No.
Yes. My mind was constantly running a mile a minute and I couldn't slow down. I had zero confidence, rage issues, and on top of it all, the muscle mass of a kitchen sponge. All right, credit for that one. That's funny. After screaming, drinking, and making crass jokes in yoga class, Istase hopes students will go home feeling more relaxed than when they arrived. Rage may be part of the name, but as with traditional yoga, the end goal is to, quote, become Zen as fuck, unquote.
Zen as fuck. I believe Buddha coined that phrase.
Yes, he did, in fact.
I predict a lawsuit when someone goes there and decides to be offended.
You may call it rage yoga. We call it toxic masculinity yoga.
There you go. Thank you, Terry Diamantis. Getting to the moon is easy. Ralph Cramden offered to send Alice there every episode.
Yes, he did.
Yes,
So, like-
with the power of domestic violence. And thank you, James Colley. Scribe is wrong again. Cereal is soup. Hashtag monkey facts.
Thank you.
Yes, Weebo?
Like, Rage Yoga. get the image of a person doing like warriors pose or something and going
Yeah.
to, like, the rest of everyone else.
You know how obnoxious that would be after a little while?
Dude, no, that would be so relaxing.
Then
For the person doing
neighbors are
it.
probably pissed.
Yeah, I mean, like, but you can only do that by yourself. You couldn't do that in like an actual class. It just wouldn't work very well.
Yeah.
As long as nobody throws a chair, everything will be fine.
True.
Let's see. What? Okay, I don't understand the headline of this, but it comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Pete Rose says he gave Joe DiMaggio a shower, then praises his penis. Has Pete Rose lost his mind? Okay. Baseball greats Pete Rose and Joe DiMaggio never played in the majors at the same time, but they teamed up once in an odd situation. I'm not quite sure I need to finish that given the headline, but let's find out. Rose, baseball's all-time hit king, amongst other things, told a funny anecdote about the time he gave the Yankee Hall of Famer a shower when they were visiting the troops together in Vietnam during the war there. He apparently was referring to a 1967 USO-sponsored trip featuring baseball stars. It was so hot, nobody could sleep, Rose, 78, recalled to WFAN radio host Mike Francesca. Quote, all of a sudden, Joe says, I got to take a shower, Rose remembered. I said, Joe, we're not in downtown Saigon. We're in the damn middle of the jungle. He says, I don't give a darn. I'm Joe DiMaggio. I got to take a shower. The only way you can take a shower there is a guy had to get up on a chair, me, as in Rose, have a bucket of water, pour it on into this canvas tank, pulled the chain, and the guy underneath took a shower. I gave Joe DiMaggio a shower. The best way to describe Joe DiMaggio is he was a penis with a man hanging from it.
All right.
I've been accused of the exact same thing, oddly enough.
That's great. Okay, that was worth the price of admission right there.
Holy shit.
Good God. Wasn't he married to Marilyn Monroe? DiMaggio?
Oh, that poor woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a time. But she had a couple of husbands, but yeah, okay. A penis with a man hanging.
Shit.
Oh boy. Let's see. Oh, how about this one? This one comes from Massive Dynamics. If it'll come up. Incredible D-Day heroics of Star Trek actor Scotty revealed. How Lieutenant James Doohan led his men safely across Juno Beach and took out 2 German snipers before becoming known as, quote, the craziest pilot in the Canadian Air Force. Before James Doohan became famous playing Scotty in the original Star Trek, he was a Canadian lieutenant in World War II who heroically took out German snipers during the D-Day invasion. Doohan, who died back in 2005, had enlisted in the Royal Canadian Army when he was just 19 years old. He had progressed to the rank of lieutenant with the 14th Field Artillery Regiment of the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division by the time Allied troops invaded Normandy on June 6, 1944. Doohan and his division were tasked with taking Juno Beach on D-Day as other Allied forces, including U.S. and British troops, focused on other nearby landing points. He managed to take out 2 German snipers when he successfully led his men across the beach without setting off any of the planted mines. Quote, I don't know if they were killed or wounded, but it shut them up, Doohan told the New York Times back in 1998. While Doohan wasn't injured during the initial invasion, he was accidentally shot 6 times by a fellow Canadian serviceman later that evening when he was walking back to his post. Doohan suffered gunshot wounds to the leg, his hand, and chest. He lost his right middle finger in the gunfire and narrowly escaped a fatal shot to the chest when his metal cigarette case deflected the bullet.
I mean, as far as fingers goes, that's kind of your most useless one, so he's good.
Good God, I didn't know any of that stuff about him. Damn.
That is insane,
That's
dude.
crazy.
What is worse than that? Joining the military, going over there, fighting in a war, killing a whole bunch of people, and surviving like badass, and then getting shot by your own fucking people.
Yeah, and just barely not being killed because your flask deflected a bullet.
Well, what could be worse is that he could have died over there
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
completely.
I
Just
mean,
like
yeah.
bye bye.
Here. Okay. David S. Or Jedi Ghost Bear sends us this one, and yeah, as he says, if you need a cringe story tonight, well, at least for the men in the room, maybe. Ruptured testicle sends Mariners Mitch Haniger to the IL. I don't know what the IL is, but
Illinois.
Injured list.
Oh.
injured list. Okay. This is an injury you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. Mariners outfielder Mitch Haniger is going on the 10-day injured list after fouling a ball off his groin in a
Oh,
series against the Astros this week.
he did it himself.
On the play, Haniger suffered a ruptured testicle.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
He busted a nut.
Oh, God. And there's video of this.
What a baller.
I will
Well
now
played.
watch the 24-second video. Oh no!
Was there like a jiggle effect afterwards?
Oh,
That's how you know
he
it's
was,
really bad.
No, he is he walked it off, but he wasn't. Oh,
Oh, he's fine.
thank you, Corey Suzuki. Is friendly fire on? In that baseball game, it sure was. Jesus.
Yikes.
Okay, well, I hope he heals up. That sucks. I saw this story. I'm not going to read any more of the details. I'll just read the bullet points because after that story about the Ars Technica guy, but it is a thing that happened. This one comes from John Migda. Here are the bullet points of this story. I believe it's out of Brazil. Mother takes her son from his father with her lover, who is a woman. She psychologically torments son for being a boy, escapes Child Protective Services, performs a makeshift reassignment on the boy, who is 8 years old. The boy is in constant pain, and then the mother stabs her son to death in his sleep at 9 years old.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And thankfully, as far as I can tell, she and her girlfriend are arrested. So, yeah.
I thought there was a rule about kids' stories.
There
That's on my
is.
show.
Yeah, I try not to go too far into them than I actually absolutely have to, unless it's something like major. But thank you, James Colley. Pussy, walk it off and rub some dirt on it. Jesus Christ, dude! You foul a ball and crush your nut. I give most anybody a pass on that one. Let's be honest. Just saying. Okay, well, going back to space for a second. This one comes from Chappie. I saw this earlier today. I don't know exactly what the price tag is. Visiting the International Space Station will soon be possible if you can pay for it. Okay. All right, so I'll break it down like this. How much per night do you think it costs to go take a trip to the International Space Station?
Half of my lung.
35,000.
Oh, you already read the story. All right.
That was a guess.
No, Monkey's a cheater. That's what he is.
That's not
Well-
cheating.
Yeah, that is.
That's being informed.
You had inside knowledge of insider trading. You lose.
Oof. Was I close, Scribe?
What did you say? A lung?
Half of a lung.
I don't think half of a lung's worth 35,000.
You don't know that. It could be a really nice lung. All right.
Have you seen her lungs? Come on.
That's true.
They're right there on the screen.
And neither.
They're great lungs.
Are Weebo's lungs external?
Thanks. I can
Wow.
see him heaving.
Okay. Ooh, heaving lungs. Let's see. Okay, this one comes from Lurking Gopher, and it's from Vox.com. An open letter to YouTube's CEO. I can't even imagine where this is going to go. Okay, you guys ready?
Lay it on me.
Dear Susan Wojcicki, YouTube social media profiles have been updated with a rainbow-themed version of your logo to celebrate Pride Month. But to truly celebrate your LGBTQ creators and users, there's another more meaningful update you need to make this month. Your platform has made it easier than ever for people making abusive content to reach a massive scale. As Vox video producer Carlos Meza documented in a Twitter thread, he's been the subject of repeated personal attacks by the popular YouTube commenter Steven Crowder. During a series of videos attempting to rebut Carlos's arguments, he calls Carlos the lispy queer from Vox, along with many other homophobic and racist slurs. These repeated attacks on Carlos's sexual orientation and ethnicity have led to vicious onslaughts, including doxing and dogpiling from many of Crowder's millions of fans. To Carlos, us, and many of your creators and users, this behavior is in clear violation of your company's community guidelines.
Scribe,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Since you are acquainted significantly with the English language in such a way that I am not, is lispy a slur of any denomination?
It all depends on context and connotation.
But just lispy on its own?
Very few words by themselves are slurs. I don't think that is, because if you having a lisp is a thing. It doesn't necessarily denote anything beyond that, like having a slight speech impediment. But in the context that Crowder was using, yeah, he was poking the bear, so to speak. But whatever, he's making fun of Carlos Maza, which is all it was.
Fair.
Let's see. Okay, this goes on for quite a while. You can kind of, I'll put a link in the chat in case people want to read it. You can kind of imagine all that it's saying is that, obviously YouTube doesn't care about LGBTQ people, even though makeup channels with gay people doing makeup is some of the most highly profitable stuff YouTube's got on right now. Like Wojcicki just met recently with Shane Dawson and James Charles, like in special videos and things. So yeah, Vox via their avatar of Carlos is butthurt because they got made fun of, and they're being criticized. I don't know. We've talked about this plenty in different videos and things, but if you're going to make if you're on the internet, welcome to the internet. The internet is a full participatory sport, and people are going to full contact. People are going to people, and if you wanted to catalog how many derogatory jokes Carlos Maza has made about Donald Trump, that would be just up there because they're both public figures, and you have things to criticize them over. And I'm sure that everything Carlos Maza has ever said about Trump was completely on point, had nothing to do with any ad hominems at all. Thank you, Terry DeMontis. Drink enough alcohol and everything you say is a slur. Oh!
He's not wrong.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Unless you guys had anything else to add on that. I know we've talked about it at length.
No, I'm just confused about the terminology where it's like, he called me gay and that was a slur. And I'm like,
no, it's not.
You're gay. He called me queer. That's a slur. It's like,
it's literally in the acronym.
Like, I don't know. It's just, and they're like, well, it's the way he said it. I'm like, well, okay. I don't know.
Yeah,
just like, if Scribe, your name is Scribe. So if I'm just like, fucking Scribe, you're like, oh, what did you call me? I called you Scribe. I just put fucking in front of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like that frog-voiced English major. And I'd be like, yeah. And then I'd move on with my day. And it's like, and when I say frog voice, I'm talking about Kermit, not French, just so you know. Sorry, French people. That's what my dad would always call the French. He'd call them frogs. I still don't quite know why that's a thing they called French people. I have no idea. That was just what he called them. Of course, my dad's not exactly politically correct, as you might imagine. Let's see. What's this? Oh, we talked about that one. Oh, that was from yesterday. Did we already reach yesterday's stuff? Oh, I guess we did. Okay, let's do one more here before we go on to YouTube time. This one comes from Jack the motherfucking Cockring. Multinational investigation says state actor responsible for attacks on Gulf oil tankers.
Oh.
Uh-oh. An international investigation into attacks on 4 oil tankers off the coast of the United Arab Emirates in May, has concluded that a state actor, unquote, is the most likely culprit. Are we thinking Iran by any chance? The UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Norway told the United Nations Security Council Thursday afternoon that there are strong indications that the 4 attacks were part of a sophisticated and coordinated operation carried out with significant operational capacity, unquote. Of the 4 commercial ships targeted in the May 12th attack, 1 was flying a UAE flag, 2 were tankers owned by Saudi Arabia, and the 4th was a Norwegian tanker. Iran, the country suspected by both the U.S. and Saudi Arabia of being behind the blasts, was not named as responsible by the investigation this week. The UAE ambassador, Lana Nusaybeh, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, told reporters she did not accuse Iran of responsibility in an informal Security Council meeting about the investigation. Tehran has denounced the attack and denied involvement in the incident, which came as tensions between Iran, the U.S., and its Gulf allies were ramping up amid deteriorating relations. Saudi Arabia ambassador to the United Nations, Abdallah al-Mulami, was clear that Riyadh believes, quote, responsibility lies on the shoulders of Iran. He said there was enough evidence to demonstrate Iranian responsibility, adding that, quote, if we tolerate a symbolic attack like this, it opens the door for more, unquote. Are we going to war? Is that where we're headed? I hope not. I'd like to get through at least one presidency without a brand new war. I understand that all of our other wars carry over one to the other, but can we not have a new one? I guess we didn't really have a new one under Obama either, technically.
Not really.
Yeah, it was just a continuation and escalation of other things. Okay, well, guys, on that optimistic note, let's move on to YouTube time. I'll go first since I'm brief. I didn't get a whole lot done today. Work was quiet, but I was still busy at work. And when I got home, a bunch of other distractions got me. I've kind of set that equity in the classroom thing aside for the moment. I kind of lost my mojo on that one, but I have found a couple more prophets of the Church of Authenticity that I might be taking a look at. That I just Googled the word authenticity and checked to see what had been posted in the last 24 hours. And I came across at least 3 or 4 life coach type persons trying to teach the spiel of authenticity for corporate usage. So it's quite the thing right now. It's really popular. I don't know if that's going to become a series or something, but I might do another one here soon. But that's what I did today. Satsu, how about you?
Well, I recorded another video. This time I was doing the spicy udon that Cryptic sent to me, which was really, really good, actually. So you guys will see that once I edit that and put that up. And then the dish that I made with the Chinese sausage that he sent me will be going up tomorrow. I should have that done. I've been doing my constant uploads at about 6 because that's when YouTube tells me the best time to upload them. So I'm listening to YouTube. So that'll probably be up around then. Outside of that, still working on stuff. I'm drawing out the kind of roadmap for what I'm going to do with the cooking simulator game and how I'm going to implement that into my channel because that game is super fucking fun. So that is the stuff I'm working on right now. More information on that when I have it.
Okay. Monkey.
I did monkey in the morning, and that's it. I didn't get anything else done today. I was in bed all day.
Earning your keep.
Indeed.
Yay.
That's right.
Weebo.
So I was actually very productive today. I got out a video for next week to preempt the fact that I'll be working like 78 hours next week. It's a Pride video because it's Pride Month. I don't know if you knew that, everybody. And then I also got kickstarted working on another video that I might be putting out also next week, depending on how things go. But it's basically a deep dive into the YouTube Adpocalypse 4.0, because this is 4.4, the fourth Adpocalypse that we've had, believe it or not. I did the whole like counting thing.
Okay.
All right.
Other than that, not very much else. Like I said, moved into a dorm. Working.
Dorm days.
I thought I'd seen the last of this when I moved into the house.
So how much more schooling do you have exactly?
I will be a senior come this August. So I
Okay.
just have one more year left until I graduate. And then I have to make the big brain decision. Do I master's or do I career?
You're going to go into law enforcement, yes?
Not so much anymore. I've been rethinking my plan in life. And I think that I want to do something very serious with the coding degree that I have. Computer science stuff.
Wait. You're going to learn to code?
That's my other major.
Oh my
Scribe.
God. Oh my God.
I've been learning to code for 3 years.
I know. I'm just kidding. Because that's a slur, learning to code.
Oh yeah. That'll get you demonetized faster than calling someone a slurring homosexual will.
Oh
Right?
my God. Could be. Well, you are snorting up a storm today. Is that just your laughter, or do you have some other kind of snorting habit we need to know about?
No, I don't have another snorting habit. I'm just very tired, so everything is funny to me.
All right.
So I should be very easy to make laugh. So go nuts, boys.
Okay. Well,
Don't say
speaking of
nuts.
which,
That triggers me.
oh Jesus! It's especially that Mariners guy. So how about some internet fuckatry? I'll get mine out of the way because I don't have that much. Joe Biden tweeted out about the fact that he's changed his mind on the Hyde Amendment, and so I officially got to tweet out the strange case of Dr. Joe and Mr. Hyde Amendment. I thought that was funny.
Have you been waiting to do that for a while?
Yeah, just since last night when I thought it up. Let's see what else. The Washington Post tweeted out, analysis, Biden's abortion U-turn points to centrality of women's rights in 2020. And I said, I think it more points to, hello, fellow Democrats in the current year.
Right.
As Joe is trying to conform real quick before the debates show up. This was a tweet from the AP. Visitors to an Illinois museum will have the opportunity to take a virtual trip along the Oregon Trail, following the path of settlers in 1848, and maybe experiencing death by dysentery or a broken leg.
I was just going to ask, do they get to experience dysentery too?
Yeah, and I tweeted back. I said, "LMAO, good on ye, AP." That was I laughed at my desk when I read that. I was like, "That's perfect." If you didn't do it, I would have. Good for you. Let's see what else. Oh, the Washington Post. This was an actual Washington Post story, if you can believe it. And again, this is the Washington Post. This is not IO9. This is not Kotaku or The Root or something. We rank the 12 X-Men movies from worst to best. Where does Dark Phoenix fit in?
Don't spoil it for me. I haven't seen it yet.
Spoiler alert, it sucks. And
that's not what Monday Matt said.
Oh,
well,
God,
everybody's
really?
entitled to their opinion. And lastly, you had another one of those photos going around of a very healthy lady showing off her body, who posted a question with a selfie saying, "What's worse than heartbreak?" And I said, radiation poisoning.
If you break your leg, it hurts a lot.
Yeah. So that is my internet fuckatry. Satsu, what you got?
I've just been kind of on standby looking at some of the shit. I did see the the dude that you were talking about soliciting kids online and all of his anti-gamer posts, because you know you can always tell who's the real deal if they're anti-gamer gate. Outside of that, I saw a CNET article which they did a hit piece on the quartering recently, and went and contacted all of his advertisers and tried to get them to stop supporting him, and some of them did. So he's pretty pissed off, and he's kind of firing back and seeing if he can do some legal stuff or whatever. But they've been putting out a lot of questionable shit lately. It's basically a bunch of journalists who write about video games and complain about the same shit that YouTubers do, complaining to advertisers that YouTubers are doing the same thing that they do, but they're evil because they do it. And then the advertisers are like pulling out because they're like afraid of being associated with anybody who's considered evil. So it's weird. I don't know. It's like watching a whole bunch of people in jail tell on other people in jail for doing the same thing that everybody else is doing in that same jail. You know what I mean? Like one of those situations where it's like everybody in here is guilty of the same thing, but this group of people that are guilty of this thing are snitching on that group of people that are guilty of this thing because I guess they're worse. I don't know. It's really weird. But one of their titles was A Guide to the Insider Language of YouTube Gamers, because that's like a horrible title now. Like YouTube Gamers, like it's almost like being called alt-right, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Yeah.
did he just use a slur?
It depends on how he said it.
Well, no, he typed it, right? So
Mm.
I don't know.
Then it's open to interpretation, and anything is valid.
Print journalism is more ethical than YouTube journalism. We know that, right? Right, kids?
Of course.
Yes.
It's just weird. It's an odd thing to behold, because it's like journalists, they do the exact same thing that YouTube commentators do. They just write it. And YouTube commentators, they verbalize it. And when a journalist writes about a person, like say if they write a piece about PewDiePie, it's journalism. It's talking about a thing that happened. But when a YouTube commentator talks about that person, it's an attack. That's what it's generalized as. No matter what they say, no matter what the criticism were, no matter how docile or hostile, it is always an attack. Their attack on this person was because blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is fucking. And then they'll proceed to like write that article about a person in the same way that that person made a video about the person who they're complaining about. And that's not an attack. I'm like, what? If you're saying that he is attacking said person, yet your article is simply talking about this thing and putting his name into it, then right now, by your definition, you are attacking this person. Like that's what you are doing right now in this article about this person. So I just don't get it. I don't get how nobody's drawing the connection, or anybody important, I guess, is drawing the connection. Like the people who are flipping out about this, the advertisers aren't like, that doesn't make any sense. You know, I don't know. That's what I'm confused about. But that's the extent of some of the fucketry that I've seen.
Well, in regards to that article, the difference there, because I did read the whole article. I saw part of the Quartering's video on it, and the Quartering made it sound like the article came directly after his advertisers. And at least from what the article itself said, they more or less went after advertisers on YouTube rather than Jeremy specifically.
In general, it was to try to hurt YouTube into doing what they wanted in general, not necessarily with just
Adpocalypse 5.0. Yeah.
Right.
But the difference that they had with Jeremy is that Jeremy was specifically kind of insulting to the woman. I don't have a problem with what he said about her. He said she was an SJW, which the article tells us SJW is a slur for people who, or a slur used against people who are for diversity. Honest to God, what that fucking article says.
A slur. Okay.
It's a slur to describe. It's a slur to describe people who are for diversity. I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind. But there is a little bit of a difference in a context the way they did it, because he did put on his big boy pants to write the article. He took the high road, so to speak. Where Jeremy, I mean, he does. He gets down in the mud with it a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not slamming Jeremy at all. I'm just saying that's the only tiny bit of difference that's there. It's just the way in which it was done. Because if you read through this article, he goes out of his way to try to make it sound like he's talking about YouTube in general. And then he gets to the point about Jeremy Hambley. And it's like the next 15 paragraphs is just about Jeremy. And then it gets to a little bit more, and then it's the end of the story. Like, oh, I see what you did there. You buried a hit piece inside of what you tried to make a serious piece on the problems with, what is it, YouTube's outrage video game culture? Yeah. So CNET, go fuck yourselves. We all saw what you're trying to do there, and stop going after advertisers on YouTube. You're a bunch of dicks.
Well, it pisses me off because when you see a journalist write about that shit, and then you go online and you immediately see Kotaku like, gamers are furious about this. Here's why. And you're just like, what the fuck are you doing right now? Like,
yeah, I considered making a video about that today. I was too worn, guys. I was too worn. And I was curious whether or not CNET has any articles written that way.
Oh God, I haven't thought about CNET in forever.
That's where this was written through.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the woman in question, she works for GameSpot,
Okay.
which is a sister company, and that's what this dude was doing. He was white knighting for his friend who got blasted by Jeremy. That's what this whole fucking article was, and it was sad. But I was very curious to see if his own company had any headlines like that. But again, I didn't get a chance to dig into it. But I do get what you're saying there, Satsu. But there's just a tiny bit of difference in how he did. He just dressed it up nicer. That's what it was. He dressed it up nicer.
And that may be the case for this article, but we've seen plenty of
oh sure,
super inflammatory straight up hit pieces.
No,
people.
Make no mistake, this was a hit piece. It was just a well dressed up hit piece.
It's interesting that you guys bring that up, and I've seen it a couple times in the chat where the idea has been proposed. Why don't we go after their advertisers or whatever? Because Keemstar, we're all familiar with Keem, right?
Of course.
Kind of, somewhat. All right. He tweeted about 7 hours ago, earlier today. I spoke privately with over 100 of the biggest YouTubers over the last 48 hours, and we are prepared to fight the media websites that post articles that attempt to get advertisers to stop running ads on YouTube. Our plan is simple. Convince advertisers to not run ads with you. I would ask how exactly people go about doing that, like other than just making videos.
Well, you tweet them, you contact them through a petition or any number of things, or have a hashtag, and just sort of blitz them and say, here's the kind of content you are sponsoring with your advertisements, and try to make it a PR liability, at least for the time being, for them to run their ads. That's about all you can do.
So basically flip it around on them. Exactly.
Yeah. You do exactly what they do. Go quote mine and go to their fucking advertisers. Yep. Now, I do not support doing that, but if other people do, I understand. I just don't support it.
I get it, but it's another one of those things where it's like, if you lower yourself down to their tactics, you're no better than they are. There was I'm not going to take credit for it. A long time ago, I heard a broadcast from Howard Stern, and I forget exactly what it was. It had something to do with someone he had a beef with. Right, there was someone who was like calling him names or whatever else. But he said on the air, he says, even though this guy is a complete asshole and everything else, I wouldn't take any overt action to deny this person the ability to make a living. And I heard it years and years and years ago, and that sort of always has resonated with me. It's like, at the end of the day, I criticize somebody, point out their hypocrisy, et cetera, but when you start going after their livelihood, unless you've got a really, really, good reason for it, I'm talking like, they committed a crime or something. Other than that, I'm always hesitant, even against people I don't like, to go after their livelihood.
It
depends. I know it is circumstantial, etc. But as a general sort of first filter, if you don't go there is all. Yeah.
But as I said the other night, man, I'm having that crisis of faith, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's getting to a point. I mean, okay, how much is enough? And as long as you're being honest about it and not, I wouldn't do like the quotes we talked about last night.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to like Carlos's advertising. Go look what he said here.
Yeah.
But it would be perfectly reasonable to point out that he's used gay slurs towards Crowder.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah. So I get it. And guys, I am this fucking close. I am that fucking close. I really am. Because especially reading that goddamn CNET article. I mean, are you kidding? His whole point in that fucking article is that people like to watch videos about gamers who have problems with certain games. That's what he's trying to lay out the article as. And then it gets to Hambly where, and this guy called somebody an SJW, a friend of mine, damn it. It was such a blatant fucking hit piece, but dressed up all nice. And yeah, we went to the advertisers and the advertisers like, oh man, really? That's going on? Like, this is such douchey behavior.
Real quick. Thank you, Diesel Dave. Don't fight with stupid people. They'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. I think that's a variant on a Mark Twain quote, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's always, like I said, that's kind of what Diesel Dave said is kind of where I'm, again, like Monkey, I on an emotional level, I'm fed up with this level. I understand the impetus and the urge to strike back, as it were. And I don't begrudge anybody feeling that way. Although, again, like what we saw yesterday, if you take something incorrect and out of context and then try to get someone deplatformed, it doesn't matter if I can empathize a little bit. That's a no-go for me. That just doesn't. Yeah.
You know what I would support?
What's that?
I would support their advertisers and going, look, you are supporting these people. And as long as you're supporting these people over here, I'm not necessarily going to give you my business. However, if you do support YouTube, you can count on my business. If you make it as you support us here, we will support you. Fine. I have no problem with that.
Well, what on a variant, what if you turn around like this and say, dear brand X or something,
Mm-hmm.
I see that you run ads on publication Y. I seriously do not agree with most of what Publication Y is putting out these days, but I appreciate the fact that you are supporting free speech. Would you consider supporting mine?
Yeah, it's something
like that.
Supporting the advertisers, supporting us, I think, is a better way to go. And showing the advertisers, all these people who keep freaking out, oh my God, they're gonna stop buying my product because I'm on a YouTube. No.
See, I don't think that the advertisers necessarily care as much about that as they do about their bottom line, because they do use this as a mode of getting like cheaper ad rates overall.
There's that too.
Yeah, well, there is that. It's, I mean, the problem you'd have in doing either of what we suggested is trying to make it attractive to the advertisers on a PR level to want to do that. The tact you would have to take is something that is fundamentally supported by most people. And I think that'd be something like the First Amendment and or freedom of speech. You couldn't say support YouTube because YouTube, it's got a connotation now of like, oh, it's a infested hive of right-wing supremacy, whiteness, and that's not good PR. You'd have to find a way to frame it in such a way and have enough disparate voices that are most demonstrably not alt-right or whatever else is the style of the time right now, coming out and doing that same kind of thing. But even then, it'd be a tricky sort of maze to navigate.
Yeah, and again, these are best case scenarios. I think it is getting to the point where it's going to become an advertising war, and it's going to become a boycott war, basically. You keep doing this to us.
Better?
What's that?
Who can boycott better?
Yeah. And hey, lefties, we actually have jobs. Good luck.
All right.
Speak for yourself.
I do. I want to throw out something positive real fast.
Okay.
Jack Gunsky No, sorry, not Gunsky. Sorry, Jack. The other
Oh,
Jack.
shit.
Jack Cochran.
Oh, that is some unintentional shade right there.
Oof.
No, I saw Jack Gunsky's name in chat is why. Sorry.
All right.
Jack Cochran had a flood
Oh, yes,
last
that's right.
week at his house. The river where he lives just rose. He ended up with like 3 inches of standing water in his house.
Yeah.
And he tweeted this out. I'm just going to read it. Flood results: 42 trash bags full of various stuff, food, clothes, linens, etc. 3 boxes of books, 300 plus comics, 2 rooms of carpeting, 1 bed, 2 chairs, sofa, Yeti microphone, 21 board games, DVD player, camera, and my copy of the Temple of Elemental Evil, the original PNP version.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. He lost all of that shit. And I've talked to him several times since, and he is far more upbeat than I could be in that situation. But our audience, which we share with, my MITAM folks, they were like being horribly generous to him today, to the point it was like embarrassing him a little bit. And I just wanted to point out once again, we have the best audience
Yes.
on the planet. You guys are amazing. And thank you for supporting him today with that. That was awesome. He didn't ask for it. I pointed it out, and people started just throwing him money to help with that. So
Does he have a stream? Does he have a Streamlabs or something?
He does have a Streamlabs.
Throw that link out into the
We need to buy that man a shop vac.
Yeah, I'll throw either post in the side chat or something. I'll add it to the description so people can get to that.
Yeah,
because this isn't the first time he's had a flood, is it? This is like
Well, yeah. I mean, when you live near a river, these kind of things can happen, and some of the stuff he lost, like his microphone, he just happened to set it on the floor because he was doing something else on his table. He usually keeps it up on the table. So there's his Streamlabs link, and he had just happened to have set it on the floor when all of this started, and there went his mic. So he's borrowing one from someone else.
All right. Let's see. With a few minutes left, I thought we would do a Mad Lib.
Yeah.
Want to do Mad Lib?
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? Sure.
All right. And per usual, I will give chat the ability to contribute to the last 3 options on the list. So, chat, remember, as I name these off, if you have suggestions, be sure to make individual messages to the chat denoting each one individually. So what I need by the end of this is plural noun number 3, plural noun number 4, and lastly, a type of liquid. So plural noun number 3, plural noun number 4, and a type of liquid. I can only imagine what you guys will come up with for that last one.
Lemon fresh pledge.
Before we get into it, I forgot to mention we are streaming tonight, guys. Tonight is a stream night, and I'll be giving away a copy of that cooking simulator game because I know a lot of people were really interested in it when I was playing it. So come and check us out over on 2 Cents Plus after this.
All right, so we will start with our guest, Weebo. Weebo, I need an adjective.
Speckled.
Speckled. All right. Satsu, I need an adjective.
Flexible.
Flexible. All right. Monkey, I need an adverb.
Quickly. God damn it.
Really? Okay.
I know. I was trying to get something in my mind. Was like,
Isn't that ironic?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right. Weebo, I need a noun.
Indecisively.
You want me to put that one down instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
It fits better.
Anime body pillow.
All right.
Oh boy.
Speaking of Jack.
Okay. Satsu, I need a noun.
Energy bar.
Okay. Monkey, I need a past tense verb.
Showered.
Okay. Weebo, I need another past tense verb.
Electrocuted.
Okay. Let's see if I can spell there. Satsu, I also need a past tense verb.
God damn it. I had one in my head too because I was prepped for it. How about drowned?
Okay. Let's see. Monkey, I need a plural noun.
Titties.
Titties.
And lastly, Weebo, I need a plural noun.
Gonads.
All right, now we go on to the chat. I need plural noun number 3. First one I lighted upon was Dark Alile says shoes. All right, shoes. Plural noun number 4. Shrouded Angel says cassowaries. Why do I know what that is? Cassowaries? Is that like a bug or something?
I don't fucking know. That's a big word.
I recognize the word. It's not something.
No, I recognize it too.
It is. Oh, it's a bird. Yeah, it is a bird. That's right. Yeah, it's kind of a ostrich looking thing, or an emu kind of thing.
It's a big bird.
It's a big bird. And lastly, a type of liquid. Let's see. Corey Suzuki says flood water. Oh wait. Oh wait, no. Corey Suzuki also suggested diarrhea. Okay, I'm gonna do diarrhea.
Oh.
That's funnier.
Is it? It's gross.
Well, yeah, but that's the point. It's gross. I'm not even sure I'm spelling that correctly. So.
DYIRA.
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea. Cha cha cha.
Liquid poopy.
Okay. Okay, now I'm going to put the last thing in there, put that there, and here we go. This one is called The Three Little Pigs.
Oh, boy.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs who decided to build themselves houses. The first pig was speckled, and he built his house out of titties. The second pig worked very indecisively and built a house out of gonads.
Sounds about right.
But the third pig was flexible. He built his house out of shoes and diarrhea.
Oh.
That is pretty fucking flexible.
No.
You know, there are some parts of the world where they build mud brick shit houses.
Then one day, a big wolf came along. When he saw the first pig's house, he showered and he electrocuted until he blew it down.
Wow, okay.
Then he blew down the second pig's anime body pillow. But no matter how hard he drowned, he couldn't blow down the third pig's energy bar.
The strength of diarrhea.
The moral of the story, once cassowaries come home to roost, it's too late to whitewash the walls. That actually works.
That works way too well.
That works way too well.
Wow.
That was a good pick.
We've been doing like very consistently like
things that make sense.
Yeah, that's odd.
All right, let's do one more before we get on to chat time. Let's get rid of that. Go back here, and I got to see if I'm always scared I'm going to pick one we've already done before. Okay, this ought to be good. Oh, sure, okay. So chat, here's your options for your participation. Plural noun number 2, plural noun number 3, and a school. That's it. That's the thing. It just says school. So pick a school, or perhaps a kind of school, whatever you think that fits in there. All right. So Weebo, I need a male person you know.
Mm. Mm. Ranting monkey.
All right. Satsu, I need an adjective. Get your adjectives ready, guys. There's going to be a couple adjectives. So adjective.
Yeah, burnt.
Sorry, what?
Burnt.
Burnt. Okay. Okay. Monkey, I need an adjective.
Diced.
Dice. Okay. Weebo, I need an adjective.
Viridian.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Satsu, I need an article of clothing.
G-string.
All right. Monkey, I need a noun.
Puppy wiener.
Jesus
Put
Christ.
Red Rocket.
Yeah. Okay. Weebo, I need a noun.
Whack-a-mole.
Okay. Satsu, I need a part of the body.
Weenus.
Weenus. And lastly, monkey, I need a plural noun.
Oh, how about plural noun?
Yes.
Usually I go with titties, but that seems vagina lips.
Those are called labias. Labia minoras.
Just
All
like
right.
Labia.
Moving on to chat. I need to find the plural noun number 2. Chicago Mike says wind socks. Sure, why not? He's from the Windy City. Next, I need plural noun number 3. Scrolling down. Let's see. L Vaquero 555 says clowns. We'll do clowns. And lastly, a school of some kind. Scrolling up, scrolling down, and I see. What is? No, check your logic. Rock and Roll High School. Okay. Okay. Now, if I can spell today, or type better is the letter. Okay. This one is called Report by Student Protest Committee.
Oh, man.
What's all the clicking and snapping and
Sorry, I was updating Mr. Adam on this SDA's status. By
Oh
the
my
way,
gosh.
guys, she's got a flat tire, so I don't know if
Oh
we're gonna
no.
do
Oh no, that's
midnight power hour, depending on how long it takes her to get home after she fixes it.
okay. Well, I hope she's okay.
Yes, me too.
Okay, fellow students of Rock and Roll High School, we, the members of the Students for a Burnt Society, are meeting here to decide what action to take about the Dean of Vagina Lips.
that bitch.
He has fired our friend, Professor Ranting Monkey, because he wore his weenus long and because he dressed in a G-string and wore wind socks.
Sounds like him.
Next week, we are going to protest by taking over the puppy wiener buildings and kidnapping the assistant whack-a-mole. We also will demand that all students have the night to wear diced hair and viridian beards.
All right.
Remember our slogan, down with clowns. Again, that just bits and pieces of that just fits together way too well.
Down with clowns.
Especially the part
Down
about
with
the monkey
clowns.
wearing a G-string.
Yeah, monkey and his G-string and his wind socks.
And my big weenus.
I need to know what a windsock looks like.
It's a big sort of socky looking thing that somebody puts up to see what direction the wind's blowing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And what part of the body do you put that on?
You don't.
Your weenus.
Yeah, that too.
Weenus.
Yeah, you put a windsock on your the Weenus Windsock by Satsu Industries.
That's right.
All right, I'll save those off. And now, perfect timing. It is the bottom of the hour. It's chat time. So, guys, if you have questions, comments, complaints, conspiracy theories, if there's a planet on which a base we should build besides Mars and or the moon, suggest it now. If you have questions for us directly, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements for us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. Remember, just after the stream over in 2 Cents Plus, Satsu and Monkey will be streaming 7 Days to Die, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And giving away a copy of Kitchen Simulator or Cooking Simulator, whatever it is.
Cooking Simulator. That game is really fun. I saw you picked it up, Monkey. That game's awesome.
Let's see. Ebony Williams, Scribe. What aspect of a woman makes your heart skip a beat? What aspect of a woman?
Aspecty titties.
If she smiles at me and I think she's attractive, I guess. I don't know.
That ass dough.
That doesn't hurt, you know.
Yeah,
although,
a nice, pretty smile is a good one.
Well, I've always said a good pair of eyebrows can knock me over from across the room if they're on the right woman. So
Oh.
it's true. If she knows how to use them. She's got eyebrows. She knows how to use them.
Scribe, pay attention to me.
Oh,
You look like a puppet right now.
Okay. Okay, I'm paying attention to you now. Are you doing okay, someone clip that and turn it into a GIF.
Yes.
And we'll be set to go. All right. Let's see. Attack Alpaca. Do you know how to change a tire?
Yes.
I don't think I do. I could probably figure it out, but
You
with
don't?
a jack and with a lug wrench and a jack, I could probably figure it out. I've seen it done before.
It's not hard.
By the way, whoever clips that, caption it Swiggity Swooty.
Pyrus Creed. Did you guys know that there are IMDb pages for Monkey in the Morning and Lords of the Night? Yes.
Yes.
I am failing to remember who set those up for us. A viewer
Steven.
did. Was it Steven?
Yeah.
Okay. I think there's one for
also-
I think there's one for each of us actually as individuals and for our shows. I could be mistaken.
Yeah, whoever does it keeps updating it.
Thank you.
There's Monkey in the Morning, and that one keeps getting updated with like different people who've been on as guests as well. So I also have an IMDb page. Pretty sure Polly has one probably. You could probably look yourself up and you'll find it if you've been on the show.
Wait, you've been on the show?
Yeah,
Okay. I just didn't remember you being on.
Let's see.
I've been on Monkey in the Morning before.
Okay, I believe you. I just don't remember.
The original Shroom says Justice Kennedy retiring.
It's on last week.
Is he?
Kennedy retiring would be
That'd be amazing if it were true. I don't see anything on the news about it. Is that a rumor? I would be surprised if he would voluntarily retire at this point in time, but stranger things have happened, I guess.
Ginsburg would have a heart attack.
Yeah, no shit. If she hasn't had one already. Let's see. Massive Dynamics. Scribe Light, what are your thoughts on the in-production Black Widow film? Sorry?
I said about time.
Yeah, I think they should have done the Black Widow film instead of Captain Marvel. I never really understood. And if you watch Endgame, if there was going to be a leader of the Avengers going forward, it sure as fuck looked like she was doing it already. But I'm curious as to how they're going to make that work. Presumably it's a prequel of some kind, I guess, because everything that I've heard on the periphery about the results of Endgame, sorry, minor spoilers for you out there. I think we're past at this point. The rules of the universe are once you've given your soul away to get the soul stone, it doesn't come back. So either it's a flashback Black Widow or alternate timeline Black Widow. I don't know. I don't know. Or they just decide to break that rule and somehow she comes back. The only thing I hope is that they actually make it a relatively grounded actual spy thriller without too much superheroes or supernatural stuff.
I'm down.
Aside from her, because there's a really great fan trailer, or I should say opening credit sequence that somebody cooked up a few years ago. Just look up Black Widow fan credit sequence or something, and the music, the visuals, it's exceedingly James Bond, and it's perfect. If only they do it that way. I can only hope. Fingers crossed. We'll see. Mr. Moose says, Scribe Light, are you down with clowns? I have several friends who are legitimately scared of clowns. I don't find myself scared of clowns. I don't go out of my way to get close to them either, but then I don't encounter many clowns in the literal sense. So I guess that's my answer. Gorbegs goes camping. Build it on your anus, Scribe Light. You want a base on my anus?
Uranus.
You should go work for Vox. Daniel Fullman, Weebo, how is the gray kitty? Do the dogs get along with it?
Okay, so I was talking about my cat Cole, who I've been posting lots of pictures about because he's been a lazy bum. And yes, the dogs do get along with the cat. In fact, the cat is the alpha of the house with respect to the dogs. So one could say that he is the dominant cat.
Ooh.
Yes.
I like that terminology.
I know you do.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Festering wound. Why does Weebo Jones always dress like a 15-year-old edgy skater boy?
All right, because I am trying to dress older than I am, which is a 13-year-old edgy skater boy. Because I want people to take me more seriously.
Oh, and we totes do that.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago Mike says Europa base. Yeah, if you want to watch Europa Report, which is actually a fairly decent space sci-fi movie. Yeah, let's not. Although Europa is probably the best bet we have of finding like liquid water outside of our own planet that may contain life. So yeah, sure. I'd rather we send some drones or something out to Europa first and try to get some pictures and such to see if there's some like space whales under there or something. RJ Bansma, Scribe Light for Weebo. What's a good eyeshadow to match rouge lipstick?
It really depends on the purpose behind the face you're trying to make up, and it also depends on the outfit too. So you want there to be some level of coordination between the two. But my best advice is usually if you're going to go dark on the lips, go lighter on the eyes. So maybe go with a more neutral skin tone color, like maybe like a light brown or something. Unless you're going for that dark, mysterious, all that nonsense. You want to go heavy.
Question is, how hoary do you want to look?
Yeah, if you want to go really hoary, dark lipstick, dark eyes. Not so hoary, lipstick, light eyes.
Isabel Como says, the Black Widow movie is a prequel movie. I forget the time period, though. Well, unless they're going to de-age Scarlett Johansson, it can't be that far back. But they've done that a bit now in the last couple of movies. And Adam Mangold follows up with, what about Hawkeye and her in Budapest? That would be interesting.
I'm down.
Conceivably.
Because they talk about it. They never,
Yep, mentioned. Yep, in Avengers, they mentioned it. That was part of the thing. She's got some red in her ledger from Budapest.
What happened in Budapest?
Yeah. Like I say, as long as they keep it in relative terms down to earth, sort of do like a Dark Knight version of the Black Widow universe and make it an actual spy movie, espionage, old James Bond type thing, I'd be completely happy with that. And honestly, I don't understand why they shoehorned in Captain Marvel. They should have done Black Widow and made her the leader of the Avengers going forward, because that's what she was in Endgame, so might as well. Satanic Cult, Scribe Light, how is your state of mind? My state of mind? Fine or normal, whatever that means. Mata Winter, Lords of the Night, has Monkey and Satsu heard that there is a new Borderlands 2 DLC coming out on June 9th?
No.
Borderlands 2 DLC? Wow, okay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mr. Monopoly says, Scribe Light, when will you leave the left coast? I have absolutely no unless I'm going on a brief trip somewhere. I have no plans of leaving the left coast. So I'm kind of acclimated to it at this point. I don't think I've been to other places in the country, like DC and Louisiana and Texas. I'm not built for those places. I just am not. Let's see. Attack Alpaca, 115 degree humid day or 50 below blustery frigid day.
Second one.
I'll
Give me
take the
hot.
second. Yeah, I'll take the second one as long as I got some shelter because I hate the heat. I can keep myself warm. I don't want to have to fight the heat.
You can only take off so many layers before you start, taking off skin,
Yeah.
and then you're in trouble.
Satsu.
I don't like the cold.
All right. Now, when you and Monkey can have your hot rocks and heat lamps, and Weebo and I can be over in our igloo.
I am from the north.
The
It's my
Great White
domain.
North?
No,
Oh.
okay. When I say north, I mean like northern Illinois,
Oh.
mid Wisconsin, somewhere in that area.
Ebony Williams
North.
says, Weebo, wings or ribs? I'm pretty sure you've asked her that before, but no way.
Ribs.
Bodacious T says, In Bruges. Yeah, a very good Colin Farrell movie. Gleason, what's his first name? Fuck, I forget his first name all of a
Jackie?
sudden. Anyway, not Jack Gleason, no. Not Jackie Gleason. Anyway, In Bruges, it's got Ray Fiennes in it too. It's a very underscored movie. You wouldn't expect. It's about hitmen who are hiding out, but it's not exactly an action movie per se, but it's very good. Let's see. It's kind of like, for some reason, it reminds me of The Ice Harvest. Do you ever see The Ice Harvest with Billy Bob Thornton and Cusack, Michael Cusack?
No.
Or John Cusack, sorry, John Cusack. Oh, it was written by Harold Ramis. It's got that sort of philosophical Groundhog Day vibe to it. It's a very quirky movie. I like it a lot, and In Bruges kind of reminds me of that. Let's see. Going back up, Mr. Moo, Scribe Light, use a fan that has a squirt bottle attached. I do need to think about maybe buying myself an air conditioning unit because my apartment has absolutely no air conditioning whatsoever. It's awful.
That's when you solve that problem by sleeping in the nude.
Well, that just is a matter of course with me, but whatever. Hayden White says Brendan Gleeson. That's right, Brendan Gleeson.
Have I seen Saving Private Ryan? I have not. Should I? It's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
It's pretty good. If you're going for like World War II stuff, I think Monkey and I agree on Band of Brothers. First and foremost.
Dude, yes.
You've seen that?
I've seen the whole
Yeah.
series.
Band of Brothers is really good. There's a movie that doesn't get a lot of attention. It's called When Trumpets Fade. It's a very like downbeat movie, but then it's dealing with a battle in World War II. What's the Hurtgen Forest battle or whatever. Very good movie, but not one to watch if you're looking for an uplifting experience. Let's see, Mr. Monopoly, Ranting Monkey, have you played D&D?
Yes.
Let's see. Just looking for questions. We suddenly ran out of questions. Corey Suzuki says A Bridge Too Far. Bridge Too Far is a great movie. Hayden White says, Scribe Light, not a question, but make sure you check out Red Letter Media's new vid, The George Foreskin Grill by Red Letter Media. Yes, it's what you think it is before it gets taken down. RLM's put out some funny stuff. They did a best of the worst. Macaulay Culkin is just their new best friend. He keeps showing up on that show. I love it. It's just so bizarre to see Macaulay Culkin grown up and like doing like Angry Video Game Nerd and Red Letter Media and all that kind of thing. The George Foreskin Grill. All right, I'll save that for just after the show. Pyrus Creed says excited for Baldur's Gate 4. Well, let's get past 3 first. We'll talk about 4 after they've actually released 3.
And as for 3, I want to see action. I don't want to see just a little fucking trailer. I want to see gameplay of it.
Yeah, that reminded me of Bloodlines 2. It's like, here's a pre-rendered cinematic. We're not going to show you anything about the game.
That means nothing to me.
Harvest Marva says, have you seen Brightburn yet? No. Has Satsu heard of Texas Twinkies?
What is Brightburn?
That's that movie where you've got like the evil Superman set up.
Oh, okay.
Satsu, have you heard of Texas Twinkies?
No.
Well, Harvo says you should look it up. And finally, would cremation stop the wolf eel? Oh, that thing that I tweeted out? I'm hoping so, because even its severed head is apparently deadly. So
I saw that. That was insane.
yeah, that was nuts. RJ Bands with Scribe Light. What's the worst nicknames you had as kids? All of us. The worst? Jeez, nicknames.
Oh, I got
Right.
one.
Go ahead.
I didn't really have nicknames. I just got beat up and stuff. I mean, Four Eyes was about as bad as it got, I guess, as far as being called names.
Well, this one's actually kind of funny. My dad used to call me Peanut. He still actually does. But the thing is, I do not like peanuts at all.
Oh, Peanut.
Well, my dad used to call my
don't call me Peanut. That's
Peanut.
my dad's name for me.
Peanut Jones. I guess as far as nicknames in that sense, my dad called my sister and I maggots all the time. It's like, come here, maggot.
Was your dad a drill sergeant?
Well, he was in the Air Force, but no, he just whatever reason he'd call us maggots. It was funny. What about you, Monkey Satsu?
I didn't really get called nicknames. I mean, Monkey came from my parents, but otherwise,
Yeah.
and nobody like. I was not bullied as a child.
Well, my family had nicknames for me, of course, but they were all related to my actual name. But the worst nickname I think I had was during the first year and a half of high school, because my brother was already there and he was extremely popular, like top of the fucking school popular. My name for the first year and a half was Marcus's brother.
Oh,
Like teachers called me that. Fucking teachers called me that. That was my fucking name for like a year, and it pissed me off.
my little brother got that, and all my girlfriends were mad because they were Frank's girlfriend. Like, relax, ladies, it's okay.
Let's see. Mr. Moose says, Scribelight, who smells better, Monkey or Weebo? I'm going to assume Weebo because Weebo probably at least smells like a girl. And as stereotypical as that is, girls smell is nice most
Girls
times.
smell better. They just do.
Yeah.
I do smell better. Thank you.
Mr. Adams says, question for you, Scribe, and then doesn't follow up. So I have no idea. Motto Winter, Lords of the Night, what color do you hate wearing? What color do I hate wearing?
Flesh.
Yeah, nude. I guess like salmon colored. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Like something I'm trying to think of a t-shirt I would avoid if I saw it at the store, and I guess like a salmon colored shirt would be something I wouldn't wear unless I had to, or unless I could somehow mix it with an appropriate suit that it made sense. Yeah, I guess that's the first color that comes to mind.
That actually reminds me of something I heard a comedian say. He was like, okay, so pink is gay, right? Like he said that to the chat. I mean, he was talking to the audience. He's like, pink is pretty gay, right? He's like, you know what's gayer than pink? People who refer to pink as salmon. He's like, those people are much gayer than pink is. Just like, oh God. That was hilarious. So Scribe, you're gay.
Because of salmon?
Hashtag Scribe's gay.
Yeah.
What's life like in your doomsday bunker, Weebo Jones? Echoey!
Aha. James Colley says, thoughts on All's Quiet on the Western Front? I've never heard of it. If you're talking about All's Quiet on the Western Front, that's a depressing fucking movie.
Welcome to our world, Mr. Technical over there. You know what the hell he meant.
I read it as it's written. That's part of my charm, Monkey.
I wasn't saying it wasn't part of your charm. I just said, welcome to our world.
Yeah. Well. Daniel Fullman wants to know, Weebo, do we have an update on SDA?
She's about to be really upset because I just sent her a link about the 100 TV show. But other than that, nothing else.
Okay. Thank you, James Colley. Does that mean Weebo has an audio nut allergy?
What?
Because you hate the word peanut?
No, I just don't like eating nuts
Oh, sad for your boyfriend.
Not what I've heard.
Yeah, I know, right?
I crack myself up so much.
I love when you
Let's see. RJ Bansma says, "What would your nickname be for me? Please be creative."
I would call you RJ.
RJ Bansma. I would call you Band-Aidsma.
Hmm.
No,
Wow.
I don't know.
You do you, Scribe.
Bandcampsma?
No.
No. Oh. Okay. I don't know. How about RJ Nabiscosma?
No.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, you see that one? You like that one? Yeah.
I did.
It's just like something'sma at the end. How's it go?
Asthma.
Asthma. Necrosol says, I need a new subject to tweet every morning now that Monkey will be free from Twitter jail. Any suggestions?
How about go check out Monkey anyway? I know, right? Couple more hours, y'all. About 1:30 in the morning.
Chicago Mike, Lords of the Night. Does Scribe sound like Marvin the Martian? No, I don't sound like Marvin the Martian right now, but where's the Q45 space modulator?
At Joe Manny's house.
I need a Q45 space modulator. Ryan Walter says, hello, fellow kids. Hello, Ryan.
Hey, Peanut.
Yeah. Peanut Jones.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you said it. Now it's there forever.
It's apparently there.
Ebony Williams, you might as well change your Twitter name to Peanut Jones.
No, I
Ebony,
like Stephen Corleones.
Yeah. I am Cornelio. Ebony Williams says, garlic bread or breadsticks? Why not garlic breadsticks?
I concur.
Yeah.
If we only get one choice, garlic bread.
Jack Gunsky, Scribes Marvin the Martian sounds like Rocky and Bullwinkle. Gee, Rocky, where are Boris and Natasha?
Now, okay, do that for the rest of this show.
Okay, Weebo.
Please don't.
Do it just to piss off Satsu.
Yeah, I have much more practice doing a Bullwinkle than I do a Marvin the Martian. So,
If you do that, I will kill myself.
ooh, Mr. Monopoly. Mr. Monopoly asked a great question. Scribe, what is your favorite Tom Clancy novel? Well, Mr. Monopoly, strangely enough, it's called Without Remorse. It's a prequel story to Mr. Clark, the character that is sort of like the super secret, super spy special forces guy in the Jack Ryan series of books. Without Remorse is effectively like a Punisher novel taking place in the 70s. I won't give too much away about it. It's actually really fun. It'd make a great action movie, sort of revenge movie. Yeah. Now, you might have thought I'd say The Hunt for Red October. That's actually my third favorite Tom Clancy book. It goes like this. It goes Without Remorse, Cardinal of the Kremlin, and then The Hunt for Red October. Hunt for Red October is one of my favorite movies, but as far as Tom Clancy books goes, now there is one that kind of sits aside from all of those because it sort of inhabits a place of specialty for me, and that's Sum of All Fears. Sum of All Fears as a overall just epic story is kind of its own thing. You can listen to that. I have an audio tape of it. And by the way, the old Tom Clancy books on audio tape, those read by David Ogden Stiers, who played Winchester on MASH. He is the best audiobook reader of all time, in my opinion. His ability to create different characters, the soothingness of his voice, was perfect for the Tom Clancy novels and the Jack Ryan stories. So if you have an opportunity to listen to an audiobook from Tom Clancy, definitely pick up The Sum of All Fears. It's a great book and is by itself its own little universe. But as far as like the actual books go, yeah, those are my top three. Let's see. We got 6 minutes. El Vaquero 55. Can you do Yogi and Boo Boo Bear? I can do a gee Yogi and hey Boo Boo. That's about all I can do of those. Gorebag says, bestest ever Tom Clancy novel. Bestest. Well, like I say, Sum of All Fears is kind of its own thing out there. Elsewise, Without Remorse. I can't do a Ray Romano impression, Mr. Monopoly. I've never watched his show. I've seen a couple of interviews with him. I don't know.
What's your best impression that you can do?
My best impression?
Yeah.
Kermit.
A grown man with low self-confidence.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Not an impression.
No.
That's Satsu. No, sorry.
Basically.
Sean Uli says Red Storm Rising is awesome. Red Storm Rising is a great sort of speculative fiction book as far as like what would happen if Russia made a strike on NATO. I believe the whole thing was. It kind of exists as non-canon in the Tom Clancy universe because it changes so much on the world stage. It was a fun book to read. It was one of the earliest ones I ever read of his stuff, but I wouldn't call it one of his best. Let's see. 4 minutes to go. Hayden White, Scribe Light, have you seen Chopper? Dankula did a Mad Lads video on the real person, Mark Chopper Reed. He's a legend in Australia. No, I haven't seen Chopper, and I don't know who that is off the top of my head. Nothing for you here. Scribe Light, can you do an Emperor Palpatine impression? Only when I'm sick and my voice sounds absolutely like disgusting. Otherwise, when I've got the yuck in the back of my throat and my voice is all low and scratchy, then I can do a pretty good Emperor Palpatine. Otherwise, I'm just faking it.
Buick.
RJ Banza, Scribe Light, can you fly a plane?
Yes.
No.
And Grand Theft Auto very well.
Yeah, well, just not that remote control helicopter in Vice City. Fuck that.
Oh God, dude.
I hate that. I hated that. And oh my God, trying to do it on a PC. Oh God, I quit the game for like a year after I got there and just couldn't get past that thing. And then eventually I got the hang of it.
That's fucked. I literally just got an actual emotional reaction that it was like resurrected from the past.
I know,
from
right?
that shit. It's like, why?
RJ Banzma says, Scribe Light, can you do a Darth Vader impression? Actually, yes, I can. Yippee!
Oh my God. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, well, that's what she said. Wait.
No, she's never said that to you.
Oh.
I'm gonna do
self-esteem.
I'm gonna do my impression of low self-esteem grown adult over here. Let's see. Mr. Monopoly says, will Daredevil be in the MCU? I'm curious as to what Disney may or may not try to carry over into Disney Plus. But as far as I know, like they just interviewed Vincent D'Onofrio not that long ago, and he and the rest of the Daredevil cast were all sort of like really down about the fact that Netflix just stopped making the show. I don't know. I don't know what the licensing or contract divisions are between the TV portion of Marvel and the film side of Marvel. I don't know what area Disney Plus inhabits in that, since it's pretty much like television shows. It's a streaming service. So it's possible that they might carry people over, but if they're going to do it, they better do it soon because, you know, people's careers and obligations start moving real quick without contracts. So Daredevil still remains the best of the Marvel Netflix series. And unfortunately, in the near future, I'll be watching Jessica Jones Season 3 because I promised SDA that after we both watched it, we'd do a stream talking about it. And I have no doubt I'll have nothing but lousy things to say because Jessica Jones, oh, such a slog.
Is it really that bad?
Oh, God. It's really bad. I mean, you want to, like I said before, and you can watch the SDA in my stream about it and my Season 2 Jessica Jones thing. I have a particular love for gray area protagonists like the Punisher, like Spawn, you know, characters that can be good, can be bad, depending on how you look at it. Jessica Jones is just completely unlikable. Not anything that you would call honorable or heroic, even in the anti-hero sense. That first season and some of the things that she did to completely innocent characters. I could go on, I won't here, but it's just nothing about that character as established made me want to see her succeed. at all. And just that's a really lousy place to be when you're supposed to be having a protagonist who's the quote unquote hero. Somebody who has an arc, who starts out as somebody you don't like and then evolves, that can be a compelling story. Not the case with this character over the course of 2 seasons. So
Gotcha.
anyway,
3 seasons,
with that,
Jack.
guys.
3 seasons.
Sorry, what?
3 seasons now.
Well, I haven't seen the 3rd one yet.
I'm just
I
saying.
mean, maybe they change. Maybe she evolved. No, she's not going to.
Well, Scribe, get on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
1 weekend.
Yeah, I know. But with that, guys, we're at the top of the hour and thus the end of the show. So everyone, thank you for joining us, as you always do. Thank you so much for all your contributions to the show, your articles, your comments, your Mad Libs words and such. Thank you so much. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though our audience is the best behaved audience on YouTube. And everyone who donated, thank you so much beyond words. I really do appreciate it. And everybody who retweets our videos or tells people about the stream or even just retweets your favorite content creators here in our little sphere of things, thank you so much. Like I said, if the last few days have shown us nothing else, it's that at the end of the day, we can only really depend on our audiences to support us and spread the word. And we do appreciate that. Remember, guys, after this, over on 2 Cents Plus, you can go watch Monkey and Satsu play 7 Days to Die with the chance to win a copy of Cooking Simulator. So you too can learn how to make fake food.
Oh, Cooking Simulator. I need that. I'm shit in the kitchen.
And shortly, I think in about an hour's time, granted that her tire gets fixed, there'll be a midnight stream, or is it 2 hours? I forget the time zones.
Midnight power hour. So it's, for me, it's from 11 to midnight. For SDA, it's from midnight to 1.
Okay, but in essentially 2 hours from now?
In an hour.
In an hour. Okay, so granted that she gets her tire fixed in an hour over on, whose channel is it on tonight?
I have no idea. I think it might be on SDA's.
Okay, well, either follow SDA on Twitter and or follow Weebo on Twitter, and you will find out when that is posted. I'll put the links to everybody's Twitter and channels into the description here shortly.
Thank you, Scribbles.
But with all that, Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always.
Mm-hmm.
Weebo, thanks for coming to hang out with us in your new jailhouse dorm room. In absentia, thank you, SDA, for stopping in. And remember, everybody, over in the description, find a link to her new audiobook. And remember, the next audiobook for the follow-up novel is coming soon.
Oh, do you want the update? She just sent me one.
Yes. What's the update?
The spare was flat, and Addie's boyfriend is doing his best.
Oh no! Well, guys, keep an eye on Twitter to see when the midnight stream is coming. But with that, guys, your lives make us sad. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot. See, I'm not going to forget. Remember, tomorrow night, per usual, be on Monkey's channel at the usual time. And with that, guys, your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Check that link I just put in the chat.
Okay. Why? What's...
It is a string of tweets from that pedophile dude.
Oh,
I saw that.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Well, let me end on something less yucky than that as I go to Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, the romance and sexual sorcery of sadomasochism.
Oh, boy.
And today's secret word
Peanut.
is... What do you know? Monkey. Today's secret word is peanut.
Go send Weebo peanut pictures.
Yeah, peanuts forever. Tag her with Planner's Peanuts. Maybe Mr. Peanut.
Took something so innocent.
You are the furthest thing from innocent.